Hi guys, so I'm basically uploading this video on Saturday. Yeah, I think so. And I'm basically reviewing The Walking Dead season 10, episode 18. Find Me, I think. Yeah, I think that's what it's called. Basically, we get to see what happened with Daryl while he was looking for Wick in those 6 years when he was away from the group. I think this was like after that attack, when Judith got taken when she was younger, and then Daryl helped to get her back with Michonne. Because man, I remember that episode with Michonne and she was pregnant and everything. Yeah, trying to get Judith back, but then Daryl helped as well. Then I got those scars and stuff, and I guess after that, that's when Daryl just went on the search for Wick and stuff, and we kind of get to see everything that happened that whole time. But the reason why we get to see this is because basically Carol and Daryl, venture out, and then they find this abandoned cabin. But that cabin actually brings back memories for Daryl when he was on his own. So basically, we get revealed, so obviously spoilers for this episode, that Daryl actually, I don't know if I should say it, but fell in love with someone, which I thought I'd never see that after 10 years. Like we actually get to see Daryl in love with someone. Her name's Leah, by the way. So I guess their relationship start off like hostile because Leah didn't really trust Daryl when they first met because because Daryl's like basically looking for Rick, and you just seen the times skip on, but then he eventually finds someone, Leah. So basically her story is that she had a son who was killed. Basically the son got bit because I think like the son is basically her sister's, and something happened to the sister, so the, Leah took care of the baby. But then when there was an attack, the kid got bit, and ever since she's been on her own until Daryl found her. But then when Daryl found this character, he basically gets put at gunpoint and held hostage, but she kind of decides to let him go. And I just wonder why she decided to do that. And then in months, or I don't even know how long, because there's so many time skips in this episode. Because because the episode kind of first starts off with Carol and Daryl, since Carol wants to go on a ride with Daryl, and then when they get to a certain place, that's when Daryl wants to tell the story about this place because it's bringing him back to certain memories, and we do get to see Daryl and Carol bonding again, which is nice and kind of give us the vibe what we're gonna have when they get their own show. But by the end, yeah, is that still happening? But they'll probably make things up. But right now, damn, there's that final scene which I'll get to, because I'm just gonna talk about Daryl and Leah's relationship right now. Because he basically finds her because of the dog, right? Because we get to see the dog like younger, and the dog basically leads him to the cabin, and then that's when that whole situation happened with Daryl being at gunpoint from Leah and stuff and held hostage. But then she lets him go, and then he just goes back doing his own thing, searching for Rick. So yeah, while he's searching for Rick, Carol does sometimes visit him to see how he's doing, because this is at the time where Carol still had the kingdom, Ezekiel, and Henry, which yeah, man. But earlier on, we know that Maggie left, so we kind of got a time point of how everything went, from Maggie leaving and everything that happened. And I guess she left very early. Damn. I feel like a year when Maggie left, after what happened to Rick. I think that's when she left. Because, there's a lot of time skips and they could have organized it a bit better. Because it went from 6 years later, I think, to then a year later, months later, like just the way how they did it. Maybe they could have did it in a better way where they say like a certain amount of time since Rick disappeared or something like that. I just think they could have did it better. Yes. But yeah, while Rick's alone, Rick, am I saying Rick? Sorry, I mean while Daryl's alone, he eventually does see the girl again, but that's because the dog, leads, you know, leads Daryl to Lydia. Well, not Lydia, sorry, Leah again. Because sometimes it's like he was saying Lydia, but yeah, I'll just hearing things. And she kind of notices that the dog actually likes Daryl because it always finds him, and they kind of still keep their distances because she doesn't really want Daryl on her territory that much, and he just wants to stay to his territory and looking for Rick. But then the next time they see each other, like there's like a bunch of walkers and they're kind of hiding together. Then they just go to separate ways again, and then well, Daryl just wants her to move on again. It's kind of like how she was acting basically. But then she does reveal her name as Leah because back then, when Daryl first met her, she wanted to know Daryl's name and if she could trust him. Maybe she knows when someone's lying or something, because who knows what she did, before the apocalypse. Yeah. And then the next time, maybe Daryl feels bad for how he treated her, so he kind of gets a fish for her, like hunts fish for her. But then she doesn't really want the fish and just throws it on his head. Lol. Yeah. And I'm not sure what time it is when they decide to, because I think the weather gets really bad. Because there was a time where Daryl was like in very bad weather, and the map that he was using to find Rick gets destroyed. So yeah, even because he eventually does, decide to be with Leah in the house that she's in, the cabin, and they kind of bond in there. She kind of, and that's when Daryl finds out about the son that she had, and then they start to come closer. I mean, get closer with each other, and I don't even know if I'm explaining that right. Basically, they fall in love. Yeah. But then Daryl's still having a hard time letting go of Rick because, when she's talking about Rick to Leah, he just says his brother. And when he first said his brother, I was thinking, like, does it mean Mo? Because he died. He's not possibly still alive. But then, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like it actually took me a few seconds to realize what he actually meant. Because, he's looking for Rick in it, and he's always viewed Rick as his brother since season 4. So, yeah. Like, for him to look for Rick for like 6 years, that shows that's the most important person in his life, and he just has so much regret for Rick, and it's someone who's never gonna give up on. Cause see, like after the deal with this threat, like I could see Daryl, trying to look for Rick once again, and now by the end, because he decides to keep choosing to look for Rick, and he does talk to Kawa a few times because she stops by a few times, like I said. But then she's kind of saying to Dell that he needs to move on from Rick and try to find happiness because at this point this is when Carol was very happy and you could tell before the whispers ruined everything. She had the kingdom, she had Ezekiel, Henry, and then that was all taken away from her. Yeah, sad times. But in this point, like Dell actually had someone, but then he decided to still choose to find Rick, which respect for that man, so loyal. But then, Leah just disappears because he wasn't really committing to her. He just focused on trying to find Rick. So yeah, she disappears as well. So that's two people now that is lost. And then while he's talking to, Cal afterwards, after he's explained the story, you keep like Cal says that you keep blaming yourself for everything, like what happened to Glenn, what happened to Rick, and now Leah and Connie. Well, when she says Connie, like Daryl instantly says that's on you. Like he'd even hold back like that's on you because that was the moment where he was truly unhappy with Carol for what she did to defeat the Whisperers. With what happened with Connie, and I just wonder when they're gonna find Connie. But yeah, like, and that's near the end where they're just arguing as well. Yeah, it gets very heated, and it seems like their relationship's kind of broken at that point. But they'll probably fix it before the end of the show, so we can get that spin off if that's still happening. But yeah, that's everything that happens in this episode. We get like an origin story for the dog, since the dog belongs to Leah, and he just gets to a point where he adopts the dog because Leah just disappears and moves on. But I'm saying, well, I'm thinking there's a chance that she's either with this group that's after Maggie, or she's with the Commonwealth. And that's probably when we're going to see her again, because they've set up a character like so important to Daryl, like this, like someone who he actually loves. There's no way we're not going to see it before the end of this series. So yeah, they're not going to save it for like his spin-off show. Like, we need to see her again before the end now. Yeah, because I know we're not going to see Rick in the TV show ever again. Well, they said that they might get Rick and possibly Michonne back for the final season, but yeah, we'll see how that goes. I just want them to find Connie before the end of these extra episodes. Yeah. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I guess that's my review for The Walking Dead season 10, episode 18. Find Me. Can't wait to see if we see Leo again, and see how Daryl reacts to finding her again. Right now, out of the Commonwealth and these Reapers, I think she's gonna be among the Commonwealth. Yeah. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the review. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.